It's Friday, everyone. What do we do on Fridays here at the Hint Hive? That's right, we smash the patriarchy. Hey, badass women of the world. Welcome back to the Hint Hive, Amplifying Women's Voices, the show where we unpack the truth, challenge the norms, and celebrate the power of being a woman in a world that's still catching up to us. I'm your host, Kelly Hint, Queen Bee of this hive, your feminist life coach and psychotherapist, and today we're diving into something that might hit real close to home for many of you. When women are the breadwinners. Navigating power shifts in relationships. So, grab your coffee, tea, green juice, or wine. As usual, I don't judge. And let's get into it, because we are about to challenge some outdated scripts. Okay, ladies, as always, let's talk facts first. According to Pew Research, nearly 30% of married heterosexual couples in the U.S. now have women as the primary or sole breadwinner. And that number is steadily climbing, not just in the U.S., but globally. Women are stepping into higher paying fields, launching businesses, getting advanced degrees at record rates, and closing the gender wage gap with sheer tenacity. In fact, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, had a hard time with that word, statistics, there we go, reports that in nearly 40% of households with children, moms are the main earners. That is almost half of all American families. Can we just take a second and celebrate that? Granted, in my opinion, we should be much further along. However, these stats of 30 and 40%, it's growing, and that's awesome. So we truly do need to celebrate the progress that's been made as we continue to work towards making even more progress. Yet, despite this seismic shift, culture still clings to outdated ideals like a lifeline, right? Media narratives, family expectations, and even well-meaning friends often reinforce the idea that a man's worth is tied to his paycheck and a woman's ambition is a threat. So, we end up with a massive mismatch, modern economics in our wallets, but 1950s gender roles echoing through our homes and our relationships. And that, my friends, is where the real tension starts. For generations, we have been fed this idea that men equals providers and women equals supporters. Like it was some kind of natural law, not a dated social construct, but spoiler alert, that equation is broken, outdated, and frankly, never served anyone in the first place. When that formula gets flipped, when a woman steps into the breadwinner role, it doesn't just tweak the relationship dynamic. It shakes the whole damn foundation. Roles, expectations, identities, all up for renegotiation. And while that can feel scary or unfamiliar, it's also an incredible opportunity to build a relationship on equality, not obligation. You know, I see it all the time in therapy and coaching. Power dynamics don't just shift, they sometimes implode. And that's usually when I get involved. Some men wrestle with deep feelings of emasculation, questioning their worth when their role as financial provider is no longer central. Some women, on the flip side, internalize shame around their success, like they're somehow betraying their partner or breaking an unspoken rule. And then there are the couples who just stop talking, where the tension around money becomes this thick, unspoken fog in the room. And it's never just money that we're talking about. It's power. It's control. It's identity. It's all the stories we were told about what it means to succeed, to lead, to be desirable. And when those stories clash with reality, it can get messy real fast. But here's the thing. Your financial success is not a liability in your relationship. It's a reflection of your power, your hustle, and your worth. It's a badge of courage in a system that still wasn't built for us. It's proof of your grit, your grind, and your brilliance. And that success, it deserves not just to be tolerated, it deserves to be seen, celebrated, and fully respected by the people closest to you, including, and especially, your partner. Now, let's break down some of the common challenges when women are breadwinners. And the first one is identity crises. When men have been taught their entire lives by family, media, religion, culture, whatever, that their value comes from being the financial provider, a role reversal can feel like a direct hit to their core identity. This isn't just a blow to ego, it's a rupture in their self-concept. Suddenly, the blueprint that they have been following for masculinity no longer applies. They may feel lost, disoriented, defensive, or even deeply insecure. And unfortunately, anger often masks grief, and what comes out as frustration is sometimes really a mourning for a role that they thought they would always hold. In therapy, I hear heartbreaking phrases like, "I just don't feel like a man anymore," which speak to how tightly self-worth and income are tangled, and how urgently we need to untangle them. And another challenge is guilt and shame for women. Women, especially those raised with traditional values or in deeply patriarchal cultures, can experience intense guilt when their success eclipses that of their partner. It's not just about making more money. It's about the fear of being too much, too ambitious, too loud, too successful. Many women internalize the idea that their worth is tied to being agreeable, nurturing, and non-threatening. So when they break barriers and rise professionally, they may feel like they are violating some sort of ridiculous invisible code. Some go as far as hiding promotions, minimizing raises, or skipping celebrations, all in the name of keeping the peace. But peace built on self-erasure, that's not peace. That is quiet oppression. And we are not here for that here at the Hint Hive. Another challenge that we face when women become breadwinners is communication gaps. Money is emotional. It's rarely just about spreadsheets and digits. It's about power, safety, fear, control, pride, and sometimes even love. And when couples avoid talking about it, whether from discomfort or habit, the silence creates fertile ground for resentment, misunderstanding, and emotional distance. One partner might assume the other is overspending or not saving enough. One might feel taken for granted. And over time, those unspoken fears balloon into full-blown narratives. She doesn't trust me. He doesn't value my work. Talking about money openly, not just who pays the bills, but what money means to each person, is the only way to diffuse the pressure and prevent emotional landmines from going off. Vulnerability is the gateway to clarity. And even as I say that, my insides cringe because, believe it or not, I despise feeling vulnerable. I don't like that at all. Because for me personally, I feel like vulnerability exposes me to immense hurt because it has in the past. But I started rewriting my own narrative. And I'm not going to allow my past experiences with vulnerability dictate who the hell I am. Not anymore. I left that a long time ago. And I encourage you to also. So become vulnerable with your partner. And if your partner proves that vulnerability is not safe, well, maybe you need to be reevaluating that relationship, or maybe you need to be giving me a call and we can work through some of this. All right, let's move on to the next challenge we've got when women are breadwinners. This is a fun one. Sexual tension. Bet you didn't think I'd be talking about sex in this one, right? Sexual dynamics often mirror the power dynamics of a relationship. And so when those shift, the bedroom often does not stay untouched. Desire and dominance can get tangled up with how each partner perceives their value. So if a man feels emasculated because his partner earns more, he may withdraw, not just emotionally, but sexually. And if a woman feels unappreciated or like her partner resents her success, intimacy can turn into just another chore, another place where she has to overfunction. And let's be real, dry spells are rarely just about schedules or stress. They're often about unspoken resentment, hurt pride, and emotional disconnection. True intimacy thrives on respect and safety, not outdated scripts about who should be on top, financially or otherwise. So resetting the narrative in the bedroom starts with honest, vulnerable conversations outside of it. And of course, another challenge with women breadwinners is the invisible labor. Because even when women are bringing home the bigger paycheck, guess what? They're still too often expected to carry the emotional and logistical weight of the household. That's what sociologist Arlie Hochschild famously called the second shift. The unpaid labor of managing the home, the kids, the doctor's appointments, the birthday gifts, the school forms, the emotional temperature of the entire damn household, all of it. It doesn't magically go away just because she's also killing it in the boardroom or working overtime to keep the lights on. This imbalance is a huge source of silent resentment in relationships. It breeds burnout, emotional depletion, and a gnawing sense of being unsupported or unseen. Because when you're pulling double duty, CEO at work, unpaid house manager at home, something's got to give. And too often, that something is your well-being. And it's not just unfair, it is unsustainable. So yes, we need to talk about money, but we also need to talk about labor, all of it, and who's doing what, when, and why. Because equality doesn't just stop at the paycheck. It has to show up in the day-to-day grind too. And the last challenge we've got here that I'm going to cover is fear of judgment. Because let's be real, society still judges women who, quote, wear the pants. Ever hear someone whisper, "She makes more than him," like it's a dirty little secret? Yeah, that needs to go. The underlying message is clear. A woman earning more is seen as upsetting the natural order of things, as if competence and ambition are traits to hide instead of honor. And that subtle judgment, it shows up in family dynamics, friend groups, and even media depictions where powerful women are often portrayed as cold, domineering, or even lonely. But let's be very, very clear. There is absolutely nothing shameful about financial power, even when it's a woman who holds it. We need to rewrite the narrative, one where successful women aren't whispered about, but looked up to, celebrated, and seen as the leaders that they are. And if someone's ego can't handle your shine, girl, that is a reflection of their insecurity, not your worth. So, what the hell do we do about it? Well, let's flip this tension into transformation. Here's what you can start doing today to navigate the shift with confidence, clarity, and compassion. The first step, get brutally honest with yourself. Are you dimming your light to keep the peace? Shrinking your ambition so that someone else can feel big? That is not partnership. That is self-abandonment. Ask yourself, what beliefs about money and gender are you carrying that don't even belong to you? And the next step, talk about money like adults. Open the books and open your hearts. Discuss income, savings, debts, goals, and expectations. Schedule regular money dates with your partner. Normalize transparency. You cannot solve what you will not speak. And then the next step, redefine contribution. Because money is just one piece of the pie. Emotional support, parenting, housework, and community involvement all matter. If one partner is staying home, caregiving, or supporting your career behind the scenes, honor that. But also, don't let one person carry it all. Make the invisible visible. And the next step, please let go of toxic narratives. Burn the old rule book. The one that says women have to be soft, small, and self-sacrificing. Or that men have to dominate financially to be worthy of love. That stuff is inherited, not sacred. You have permission to write your own rules. Don't use someone else's rule book. And the next step, create a power sharing agreement. Seriously, write it down. What are each of your roles? Who handles what? What are the expectations around money, decision-making, and long-term planning? Get on the same team. Because, I don't know about you, but mutual respect is very sexy. My husband and I have a very equal partnership, and that makes me love and lust him even more. All right. Is that too much for family members hearing this? All right. Next step. Seek therapy or coaching if needed. Please do not wait until things are on fire. Support can be proactive, whether it's couples counseling or coaching, financial coaching, or even just mindset work. Bringing in a neutral voice can be game-changing. One of my favorite things ever when I'm either doing therapy or coaching with someone is when they agree to bring their partner in. It is an amazing experience for so many people, just for everyone in the room to feel so understood and so seen, because I'm the neutral party. I don't have a stake in any of this. And so people tend to listen to me with more of an open mind than each other. And so it's one of my favorite things. I absolutely love it. All right. In the final step, celebrate your wins unapologetically. Brag, share, toast to yourself. You worked for it. You earned it. Do not downplay your magic to make someone else feel safe. All right, here is your quote of the week, and this is one that fires me up. And I do not know who said it. There is no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise. Hell yes, my queens. If that quote made your soul sit up a little bit straighter, good. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you that rising is not selfish. It is revolutionary. Come join the revolution with me. All right, queens, before I let you go, here is your badass call to action. This week, I want you to do two things. First, name one financial win out loud to a friend, your journal, or on social media. Claim it. Second, schedule a money conversation with your partner. Not just bills, but dreams, fears, and future goals. Get real. Get raw. And remember, your success does not need a permission slip. And hey, if this episode made you feel seen, heard, or just a little more powerful, share it with your bestie. Drop a 5-star rating and hit that follow button. This community, it grows when you amplify it. So, remember, you are powerful, you are worthy, and you do not need to shrink for anyone. Until next time, keep slaying, keep rising, and keep amplifying your voice. Much love. Talk to y'all soon. This podcast is powered by Kelly Hint Empowerment Coaching, as well as Kelly M. Hint LMHC and The Cranky Counselor. To find out more about coaching services, head over to CoachKellyHint.com. If you'd like to know more about the psychotherapy services I offer to individuals within the state of New York, you can check out KellyMHint.com. And if you'd like to learn more about aromatherapy, you can check out TheCrankyCounselor.com.